Welcome, viewers, to Aegelis Interviews, where we talk to everyday people doing extraordinary things. Hats off to our guest today. Let's go. Today, I am pleased to introduce to you Kelle Lima, who has written Lilith Fletcher and the Fates Pendant. Lilith Fletcher and the Fates Pendant is a vella you can read on Amazon.com or download onto your Kindle. A vella is a series of episodes released over time that unfold into a story. I've read 6 episodes so far of the 23 that's currently available. Good evening, Kelle. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us about your work. Walk us through Lilith Fletcher and the Fates Pendant. Share with us what the story is about.
Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be around here. And Lilith Fletcher actually had come to me like a couple of years ago. It has been working for over 4 years. And it's a mix between Percy Jackson, Harry Potter, kind of. So it's a magical world. It's a retelling on Greek mythology. And it's a 12-year-old who is on the day of her birthday and has an accident and a child die in front of her. It's like an older kid. It's a 16-year-old kid. And the whole story starts right then. It is funny because when I'm writing on Vella, you have like a lot of the space from the author notes and you get a lot of Greek mythology references and such, and people love that.
Definitely. Yeah, and I was looking at the cover here, and looking at this, the color really seems to pop out on this one. I really like how Lilith is the center piece of this of the vella, so you can definitely tell the stories about her. And she's got this jewel that's kind of floating above her hand on a string. So I believe it's a necklace from the story, and it's got this infinity symbol. Can you tell us a little bit more about this cover?
Oh yeah. So this is actually like handmade for this story. It's a friend of mine that illustrates for a living. And I was like,
Wow.
you wanna illustrate this cover for me? And he's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And the infinity necklace is actually the main piece of the entire like season 1. It's what like transfers her to the entire like Greek mythology world. It's related to the Fates. I don't know if the listeners know about the Fates, but they are the 3 ladies from Greek mythology that are responsible for the coming of a human life, and then they thread the mill, and then they cut the string of the human life. And they are in this story, the pendant represents the life powder of the person.
And that's the blue swirl that we're seeing on the cover.
Yes, that's the blue like life thing going around her.
Excellent. Yeah, Lilith seems like she's a strong and independent girl. But as soon as it seems like she has a handle on her situation, things go a bit crazy again. Are you able
This
to,
is like a very old cover of the book that went not live. So this is just a prototype.
right?
It has never been shown, so that's the first time.
We have an exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
And it was like the very first one.
Very
And
nice.
it kind of used the same colors as this one, but the girl changed a little and elements changed a little.
Sure. So can you tell us a little bit more about what Lilith is like, what her personality is?
She's brave, although this is like a very touchy moment of her life. So everything is new, and she's like, "What the heck's going on?" So she's in a fragile state of her story right now, but she kicks butt, and
Definitely.
she has been like growing up with the feeling that she was responsible for the death of her mother because her mother died when she was born, giving birth to her, and she's kind of distant from her family overall, except for her little half sister, and she's not very tied to her dad or her house, and she moves a lot. So that's kind of who she is.
All right. And she does end up meeting some other characters along the way with special abilities. And I've just gotten to that part in the villa. Can you tell us anything about those other characters?
Definitely. So at the first beginning, you know that something unreal is going on, and then she deals with it on her own because she's completely lost and she doesn't understand what's going on. But then someone sees her, that person's from the world of magic, and the person's like, what are you doing? Let me help you. And that very first contact that she has, they're a trio, and this trio is Aegelis, who is also a looper. So there's different roles on this world, and her role is a looper, and he's also a looper. And there's his two friends who are like a ranger who keeps watch, and another person that helps the soul of the person transition into the world. And when she meets these people, she doesn't actually trust them right away, but then she sees that the boy has the same pendant that she does, and she's like, oh wait, maybe I should follow them.
Right.
And that's when she jumps in and she starts meeting like the whole world behind our normal human side.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite quote from the story that you'd like to share?
Oh yes. So
All right.
my favorite one is pretty much the part that says, are you saying I was marked to be some sort of grim reaper? And her sarcasm dripped on every word. Because that's when like the teacher of the school starts telling her what she's supposed to do in life. And she's like, nope, that's not gonna happen. And you can get that feeling. And I got feedback on that. Like a couple of people like tagged me on social media saying, yo, this part was like when I was like, okay, I need to keep reading. And I'm like, yes, I did it right.
Yeah, it is a stunning moment to realize that you might be the Grim Reaper. That is pretty scary. So, and all in all, I think she handles all these situations very well. I doubt I would be able to. So, it's good to see her get into the action there and sort things out. Besides Lilith Fletcher and the Fates Pendant, what other works are you working on?
I have like worked on the season 2 and 3 kind of. So those are coming. But I am also writing 2 stories that are under pen name, which is kind of new to me. And I'm kind of super skeptic about it. It's kind of like starting from zero. But I could not keep my pen name. I'm a children's author so far. So everything like is 12 and under.
Okay.
And when I entered the world of Vella, I was like, whoa, I can do so much stuff.
Right.
And I had like these horror stories or these dark sided stories that were a good fit for it. And I'm gonna try to work on them. If you want to check them out, they're gonna be under Crowley Wicker pen name. And the very first one is actually dark fantasy. And it's also a retelling. I like retellings. And it's a retelling from a Brazilian urban legend called the dried corpse.
Okay. Excellent. Sounds a little bone chilling. So what advice would you have for aspiring writers?
First, find out your audience. Like your audience is going to determine everything that you're going to do, from your cover to a story, to the words that you need to use, to the word count that you need to use, to the marketing strategies that you're going to have to do. I'm going to tell you, Lilith is a great story. It's like I had done like 3 rounds of alpha beta feedback with real kids throughout like a year and a half, and they loved it.
Great.
And I was super excited to get into
Yeah.
Vella. And that's slammed on my face because Vella is not the place for middle grade very much. Like Vella is not at the point that the parents have control over, like, oh, I don't want my kids seeing this steamy story over here or this gory one over there.
Right.
So parents are not very comfortable letting their children in there. So the readers that I end up reaching on Vella are adults that like middle grade. So yeah, if you're writing, make sure that you know your audience, make sure you're on the right platform, make sure that you're researching like reading levels and such.
Sounds like a lot of planning.
Oh yeah.
What kind of challenges did you have to overcome to finish the episodes?
I believe that my biggest challenges were to make sure that I was always on time to release it on Tuesdays, because that was my promise to my readers. So as soon as like I put it in my Vella app, I said every Tuesday you're gonna get a new episode, unless the season finishes and you can mark it as complete. So sometimes like things happen in life. I'm sick, so I have been sick since October. I have a toddler, and life is hectic and crazy sometimes. So I was like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So no matter what, I always try to make sure that the episode will be up. And as a tip, the best way that you can do that is try to like prepare and save and do the schedule option of the Vella.
Mm-hmm.
If you schedule your episodes like for 3-4 weeks, if something happens, you have that gap.
Sure.
Like that actually happened to me. I was like, I'm so ahead of time. I'm so cool. And like 2 weeks after that, I was like 4 weeks ahead. It was like one thing after the other. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to freak out. But I caught up. So yeah.
Great. Yeah, you do kind of have that sense of obligation because with the Vella, you can follow your author. So they're waiting for the next release. It's like a comic book series. They're like, okay, where's the next issue? I want to see what happens next.
Yep.
So who are your friends and family that support you in your writing projects?
Well, I'm from Brazil. And in specifically regarding Vella, you all know that Vella is from the US. You cannot read from Brazil. So I did not get a lot of friends and family support as far as that. But as an author, I met amazing people like, man, Carly Valentine, Jennifer Decker, Colleen Garber, like Tessa Combs is also like a huge novella. So all of them, like as I grew as an author, I met them and I connected. And when I launched, they actually just like, oh yeah, I'll read it. I'll just like run through and oh, I'm gonna grab a new episode. And then sometimes one of them come to me and say like, yo, I'm behind your story, but I'm gonna read it, okay? And I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I don't even know how to tell if someone is behind, but thank you so much. I love it. So I would say that my biggest like support behind the Vella are my author friends and my husband, because well, my husband takes care of my toddler so I can write. So
Excellent. Yeah, there's a good social community for Vellas, and I've gotten to meet a lot of people, and on Facebook especially, there's a lot of groups there where you can connect and talk to other authors and swap stories. So it's
and
a
ask
really,
stuff
yeah.
like, oh, I remember when I launched Vella, I was like, oh, what's the best way to launch? And then they gave me like so many tips.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them came later, like after I launched. So my next launch, I'm actually using the ones that I hadn't the opportunity to use it, which I'm excited to see if it will change things. So yeah, build up, make sure that you're genuine about it. Like if you always take it, there's at some point people will stop giving it. But if you're nice and you connect and you actually are genuine about it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
So what is your current profession and previous professions?
Currently, I'm just a writer. I have left my previous profession in 2021,
Okay,
and I used to be a video game designer.
great.
Yeah, it was exciting, but a lot of crunch, a lot of challenges. And after having a toddler, I was like, that doesn't match my lifestyle anymore. Maybe I should try something else. And back then, I was working on printables for kids.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I just ran into the POD system on KDP. And I started like looking into it, and I was like, okay, let's test one book and then another book. So the last year, I published over 12 books
Wow.
for children.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was, but I made it, and it was super fun, and I loved. Like everybody asks me, "Oh, when are you gonna go back into the gaming industry?" And I'm like, I will if I have to. Like, if this doesn't work out, I'll definitely will, because we all need to pay the bills. But
Yeah.
I love what I do. Like, I never thought I would love so much working as I do. Like, I put my toddler to bed at like 9-ish, 8-ish p.m. And I work until 2 a.m. in the morning because I want to. And
Right.
to do that, you need to have a drive. You need to love what you do.
Yeah.
So yeah, so now for now that's my full-time thing. It's writing from children's to now adult. Before it was middle grade, and experimenting things and learning along the way.
Thank you, Kelly, for sharing your time and insight with us today. We hope you pick up Lilith Fletcher and the Fates Pendant Vella on Amazon.com or Kindle to read the first 3 episodes for free, and then it's just pennies thereafter. You can also support your favorite authors by clicking their follow button, leave ratings, reviews, because reviews are golden. There's even a crown button for your favorite of the week. Give them a thumbs up, just as you can click the like button for this video and subscribe. Until next time, blessings be.